once again on this wonderful evening on this Wednesday in July. Post 4th of July, hope everyone had a great holiday and got to maybe see family, maybe friends, see some nice fireworks, grill out. I know here it was beautiful out. It was a wonderful day. The rain did avoid us, so I hope everyone had the same experience and had the opportunity to just be outside or be with family, friends, loved ones, and yeah, just really appreciated what a wonderful holiday. So just to dive right back in once again, as we normally do, keeping things simple here. Last time we met, last time we talked, it was Monday evening, and so there was the 4th of July, and today. Just gonna come around and say there's not a whole lot to share that happened the past couple days, mostly because it took mostly the form of work and celebrating the holiday. Definitely a lot of community, but the majority of my let's break it down on Tuesday. So Tuesday morning I had my last discipleship with Kyle, so that was definitely a big event, a big thing that happened. It was the last official discipleship that he and I will have as my staff discipler before he heads out back to Cincinnati. And it was definitely bittersweet. It was encouraging. Him and I went through a vision plan that he made based on our time together, and just set some goals, short-term and long-term goals that he would just that we discussed based on our discussions and what we confessed to each other and what we talked about throughout our discipleship time together. So that was really encouraging. It was a wonderful time. We went to breakfast here on 4th of July and just got to come together and talk. And it was really awesome, really just coming alongside him in that way. He's been such an influence these past 5 weeks. It's definitely sad to see him go. But it's also encouraging to step into a new relationship, a new discipleship relationship with my fellow crew student, Josh Hamilton, who will be discipling me from now on for the rest of the summer. He's a wonderful guy. We met actually today on Wednesday, but I'll get to that in a second. So that was definitely bittersweet to see, but he was just such a, I can think of so many just crucial things, and just the openness that we had with each other, Kyle and I, was amazing. So it was definitely cool. I really applaud him for that, and just a man of God, and yeah, just such an encouraging time. But after that, I soon had to go to work. Unfortunately, I did have to work on the 4th of July, but at the same time, it was nice. The work was pretty slow. I got to step alongside of my coworkers and a little more a closer relationship, since it wasn't super busy, and we were all just kind of having our little camaraderie of all of us working on the holiday. Like, even though that wasn't the best thing, it was a way for us to come together closer as coworkers, and for me to have a chance to get to know some of them better. So that was actually really nice. I learned some things about them, both just regular about their lives and spiritually. So hopefully we can see where that takes us in the next couple of weeks. So definitely that was encouraging. Once I got off work, I was heading back to Dwight, ran into some of my friends that were heading to the park because there was a grill out. It was catered for with a nearby restaurant, but we did have a cookout type thing going on out in the park at Grant Park, and it was awesome just to see everyone there. But I was going to head home and change. I had extra clothes with me, but I was like, I'll step by the apartment, but they convinced me to come straight there with them, so I hopped in a nearby porta potty, changed clothes, and then just got to experience the rest of the time that we had at the park before the fireworks. We were playing spike ball, we were doing handstands, eating food. I had a bunch of leftover pastries from work, shared those with people, and playing volleyball, and just had some time just to relax, really come together as a staff and students one more time, officially, in just a regular sense, just as a community. And so just got to have fun with everyone and take pictures and do all sorts of fun stuff. When it came to the fireworks, we went to the lakeside, a little far away from Navy Pier because it was just really busy the closer you got. So we were about a mile or so away on the lake. We were able to watch the fireworks, which was pretty cool. to be honest, I hate to put a downer on them, but they weren't super awesome to me. They were a little disappointing, but at the same time, it was the fireworks themselves wasn't really what was important. It was the community. It was fun, just sitting on the lake. It was a wonderful evening with my friends, with all the staff, and with all the students here on the summer mission. And so we really got a chance to just relax, sit, look just in the distance at the fireworks exploding over the lake, and it was a beautiful scene, that is for sure. And it was just awesome just coming alongside people and just kind of chatting away during the fireworks, and not a whole lot, making sure we were respectful of those around us, but really just enjoying each other's presence. And then really we came back here to the Dwight and just had a good rest of the evening. Some people bought some ice cream, and we just chilled in the lounge for a while and just hung out. And it was a good end to the day, a good relaxing end to the day that we had. Stepping into today on Wednesday, I had work in this morning. I worked early around 8:30, not super early, but went from 8:30 till about 4. So got that done. It was super busy. Not as busy it has been because a lot of people left after the 4th of July, but it was still pretty busy. Was going from station to station today, so didn't have a whole lot of time to catch my breath. But at the same time, it was good. Not a bad day at work, that's for sure. And then I got a chance after work to come home after I got cleaned up to have a preliminary discipleship time, really more so like just diving into getting to know each other better with Josh Hamilton, as I said. Obviously, we know each other. We know a little bit about our background. We definitely hang out in the lounge and just in general. But we wanted to put aside some intentional time to really just like open up, share our story, give a little more deeper depth of like where we're coming from, what we're doing, why we chose Chicago, how's our walk with the Lord. And so he really wanted to give me an opportunity just to share that with him, so we can really tailor the rest of this discipleship for both of us as we step into the rest of that. So that was a wonderful time. We went to a coffee shop, had just some time to relax, talk about things. He just kind of let me talk for a while, which was encouraging, and we'll do the same. He'll do the same here soon as well, just so I can get to know him a little bit better than we already do. So that's definitely encouraging. We're starting into our study. One thing that we did decide that I currently want to grab real quick is this pamphlet booklet that, not a pamphlet, but this study that Crew provided us as part of the summer mission called Thirsty. And so Thirsty is talking about a devotional. It's a weekly devotional. Well, there's 15 studies, and so our goal is we're going to finish it in these 5 weeks. So we're going to about do 3 a week. So you can do it in whatever time frame you would like. But it's a devotional on a spirit-filled life. So it's really just focusing on the Holy Spirit, and well, I guess that's just kind of a picture of water. But it's really focusing on the Holy Spirit and like the influence that it has in our lives, and recognizing that like God and the Holy Spirit like resides within us, and that's really what it's focused on. So there's actually something that I wanted to read from this, and I think because it was such not a whole lot of specific things that went down these past few days, I think it would be a good thing to end our time on. And so I'm just gonna read from this a quick little thing, a little excerpt, and then we'll end our time today, and I'll see you guys again on Friday. According to Jesus, the Holy Spirit is the source of that something more, the source of what's missing. The phrase Jesus used, living water, from John 7:37 to 39, was meant to evoke, among other scriptures, Jeremiah 2:13. My people have committed 2 sins. They have forsaken me, the spring of living water, and have dug their own cisterns, broken cisterns, that cannot hold water. But even if we didn't know Jeremiah 13, we could have understood Jesus' implications by his use of this phrase, living water. This term, living water, is another term, as we would say, for fresh water that can use to be watering plants, animals, crops, clean dishes, the stuff you drink to live. And importantly, it stands in opposition not to stagnant dead water, but to salt water. Salt water looks and feels like fresh or living water, but if you drink it for any length of time, it kills you. A person can be stranded in the middle of an ocean floating atop gazillions of gallons of water and die of thirst. The more you drink salt water, the thirstier you get. If that's a better picture for sin, please stop me at any point. And so here we are, back at the basic meaning of Jeremiah 2:13. It's not just that our souls need living water or will die, or spiritual thirst. It's that we're dying of thirst because we drink from alternative wells, chugging down salt water instead of fresh. What our souls thirst for is Christ, whom we experience by the Spirit. Like the body, the soul can't go very long without water, and so everyone most every day gets thirsty, as experienced in innumerable forms: insecurity, unforgiveness, meaninglessness, loneliness, hopelessness, emptiness, boredom, dissatisfaction, worry, anxiety, and so on. Our souls are constantly crying out for something to drink, so we drink. But all temporal forms of refreshment, sex, drugs, success, fame, busyness, entertainment, travel, materialism, etc., are in the end salt water. In the moment, they taste and feel like water to the lips, but they only succeed in making us thirstier. If we persist in drinking them, they are spiritually terminal. But this isn't the worst tragedy. The greater tragedy by far is that those of us who have come to know Christ continue to drink the same salt water that unbelievers drink, though perhaps in more socially acceptable forms. When we feel the thirst of insecurity, for example, do we turn to the Lord, or do we buy clothes, lift weights, clamor for attention, flirt, judge, or put others down, or get jealous? When we feel the thirst of loneliness or dissatisfaction, do we turn to the Lord, or do we eat, watch TV, play on the computer, fantasize, sleep? When we need confidence, do we rely upon God, or jack ourselves up with music, caffeine, nicotine, Red Bull, new clothes, self-talk, cool speech? To what are we turning to satisfy those thirsts? Though we have living water, the Holy Spirit within us, we satisfy our thirst in much the same way unbelievers do. Maybe we've stopped having premarital sex or taking illicit drugs, but that doesn't mean we're not turning to salt water. In truth, we're often consuming it daily, by the gallon. And this is why you clear everything else away. When you clear everything else away, is at the core of our dissatisfaction and thirst. We are not filled and do not walk with or drink from the Spirit in a way we could or should. Now, it could be that we just don't know any better. Maybe we never knew the source of living water was within us. Or maybe we thought we were supposed to gut out a godly life in our own strength through discipline and abstinence. Maybe this is all we've ever seen modeled. Whatever the reason, it doesn't matter, because we are going to change that. And then it goes into the contents of the devotional, breaking it down a little bit. But just that excerpt really struck me, and I just like to share with you guys that the Holy Spirit does reside within us, and He is the source of living water. So any of those things that we listed, are we turning to those to satisfy our thirst? Are we turning to spiritual salt water that just keeps making us thirsty? Or are we turning to the Holy Spirit? And that's just something that the rest of the summer that Josh and I are going to focus on, as well as just I'm looking internally in my own life, looking at where I find my satisfaction, and whether that is something found in God, or is that something found in the world that is seemingly harmless but really spiritual salt water. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys to give a little idea of what at least part of the summer, the rest of the summer will be looking like now that staff's leaving. So this will be one of the focus that I have, among other things that we're deciding as a team now. So yeah, thank you guys very much for coming alongside me on this, checking out what's going on here at Chicago Summer Mission. It's awesome to be able to update you guys in this way. I enjoy making these videos. It's a lot of fun, and it's just a way to have you let people step alongside, and to share in what God's doing here in Chicago. Once again, check out the website at nathanielhines.wixsite.com/mysite. If you haven't already, it'd be awesome to see you guys on there. If you check out the website, look at the contact box, feel free to shoot me an email. It can be perfectly made to be made anonymous. If you don't put your name, that's fine. The email doesn't show me the email addresses, so that's okay. But I would really appreciate and encourage you to put any prayer requests and or comments, questions in that contact box, just to develop that that structure of prayer, of unity, of community across the Big C Church, as we would call it, just to have that supporting community among each other. So I really look forward to hearing from you guys, and once again, thank you so much for stepping alongside, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you Friday, and thanks for coming out once again. All right, bye.